Hello, and welcome to Philosophy 1600 Logic and Moral Reasoning at Baruch College. My name is Jesse Rappaport, and me and Eric Mandelbaum from the Philosophy Department designed this curriculum from the ground up as a way for students to gain access to an introductory logic course without the need for an expensive textbook or software package or anything like that. We wanted this course to be challenging to undergraduate students, but we've also worked hard to demystify logic as much as possible so it's easy to understand. Logic can definitely seem like a strange topic to newcomers. If you've heard a little bit about logic, you might know that it's supposed to have something to do with verbal reasoning, so why does it look so much like math? In this class, we'll begin by introducing some of the basic concepts of logic, and we'll slowly build up to analyzing arguments in symbolic notation. At times, the course may feel more like a math course than a typical philosophy course. But the ideas that we cover will enable you to think clearly and rigorously about what makes a good argument and how to identify a good argument and how to analyze arguments and so on. And since argumentation is at the core of any field of inquiry, the concepts and skills that we go over in this class can be useful in a lot of different fields. That being said, logic is especially applicable to certain fields like computer science, mathematics, or law. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we're going to cover this semester. The course has 4 units. In the first part, we'll begin with an introduction to logic and learn about the structure of a logical argument and also learn about certain keywords in English that help you identify different parts of an argument. And we'll also learn about important concepts like validity and soundness, which are really central to the study of logic. And we'll also learn a bit about common logical mistakes, which are known as fallacies, which people make when they're making arguments. So the first part of the course, we could say, is in informal logic, because we won't be making use of symbolic notation like you saw on this slide. In the second part, we will introduce the notation of propositional logic, and we'll learn how to translate English sentences into symbols. From then on, we'll primarily work with symbolic formulas for the rest of the semester. Once we have the necessary notation, we'll learn how to represent statements and arguments in a truth table, and we will come up to understand the notion of a truth function. Truth tables provide us with our first means for formally evaluating arguments to decide whether they're good or bad in some sense. However, truth tables are rather limited in their power, and they don't work very well with overly complicated formulas. So we'll have to move on from those. In the third unit of the course, we're going to move on to syntactic proofs of logical arguments and employ a method known as natural deduction. Basically, this involves applying a set of rules to see if one formula can be derived from another. And this allows for really powerful and intuitive proofs. However, unlike the truth table method, it requires some creative thinking. The truth table method is more mechanical. It's kind of like solving a puzzle, maybe like Sudoku or something, so hopefully some of you will find that interesting. Finally, at the end of the semester, in the fourth unit, which is relatively brief, we'll go beyond sentential logic, which is about how sentences relate to each other, and learn a bit about predicate logic, where we start to break down sentences and analyze them into parts so as to extract more information. Okay, well, that's the plan for the semester, so let's get started.